Wake up! So if you want to skip the updates, go to the next chapter, this timestamp. Anyways, I'm recording this off my laptop. It's a bit kind of bunk. I'm in the process of moving, so at some point in the future, I might be in a different location. Hopefully I move soon, so it doesn't look like this, and the video isn't this quality. And also, I felt more inclined to record off my couch rather than at my desk. So this is why I'm recording it here. So yeah, this is the setup. I'm so sorry for not uploading within a few months. I've been going through a lot. I don't know if you saw the previous videos that I kind of privated because I was like, they're not really part of like the main channel kind of vibe. Also, I hit 200 subscribers. That's kind of awesome. Like 200 subscribers. Where did that come from? Like, that's so awesome. I don't know. It's really cool. Like people are subscribing. Like you like what I made. Like I saw one of my videos hit 2K views, another is at 1.9, and then the others are like around 800. Like that's really good. I didn't think I'd actually get people to watch my stuff. So thank you so much. Thank you for subscribing. I love that. It means I'm doing something right, I think. I don't know. Also, I look very Canadian right now. This is my grandma's sweater. It's cold out. I'm bald. I'm not bald, but like, okay, I'm kind of bald. Yeah, that's really cool. Thank you. Also, join the Discord. We do movie nights and game nights, really fun stuff. I hang out in there a lot. I don't use a lot of social media. As you can tell from my Instagram, I don't really post anywhere. So if you want to get in contact with me, either email me or just find me on Discord. Sorry. Okay, one more thing. I saw that Eddie Burback made the same video already. But, you know, at some point, you gotta just make the video. I had the script ready to go for months, and I just been so not in the right place to make the video. So maybe people might want more context, or this might want another Club Penguin video. That's what I'm doing. Here we are to the topic of the video, Club Penguin. Okay, Club Penguin was chaotic, fun, and it was also demonic. It was like so different. It was filled with so much chaos, and it was such a really nice put together game, like visually, because there are aspects of the game that are not well thought out. Obviously, we'll get to that. But all in all, I had like a fantastic time with Club Penguin. Like, look at this guy. Look at this penguin. What do you mean you don't want to be this? And there were like so many different colors you can choose from, you know? I always chose to be either like pink or black because those are the best colors. Come on, be serious. Imagine being a yellow penguin. It's pea color. Are you a piss penguin? Don't answer that, actually. I don't want to know. So yeah, it was so fun. It was so chaotic. If you saw my Zwinky video, it's very similar to how there was constant fights. Maybe that was just the servers I was on. I don't know, maybe you have a more peaceful experience with Club Penguin. But for me, it was always like chaos and fighting each other. There was a lot of verbal abuse in that game. I'm just being completely honest, but that was my experience. I'm talking pure experience here. It was something else. Like people would bully each other on here. It was like the Wild West. There was nothing else like it. Like sure, there was like the early 2000s games like IMVU, Winky, there was Gaia Online, there was Maple Story, there was like all these games, right? They were relatively normal compared to Club Penguin. Like Club Penguin was in its own category because it felt more accessible to everyone. It was bigger. It felt bigger. I mean, it had Disney to back it up, you know? It had Disney, so it spread pretty far. It was in Walmart. It was everywhere. They had plushies for a moment, figurines for a second. I never saw them, but they existed. Could we kind of all agree this game should have never shut down in the first place? Because like it wasn't even that bad. Like they had moderation. Like you couldn't really swear. It would come off like asterisks, or like you would just get insta banned, which was also kind of the best part of Club Penguin was all of the banned memes. Getting banned, it says the little message of what you said that got you banned. Those are great. I want those back. It had the money to keep going. Like, I don't know why Disney just gave up on that, but I don't know. It seems like Disney tends to not make the best choices. Historically speaking. Let's kind of make a deep dive onto the history of Club Penguin. I usually do this for all my videos. I'm here to give you the short dose. On July 30th, the year 2000, a browser game called Experimental Penguin was released. It was a test subject for what was to come later. As we know, Club Penguin. It was pretty much a bare kind of virtual room. It wasn't really much. Just had chat features and a few rooms to hang out in. It was pretty bare bones. It was a skeleton of what was to come later. You didn't need an account. All you needed to do was choose a name and hop in and you were just in. It was very, very much like just bare bone, but it was pretty successful. It had like 25,000 visits. Was pretty successful for like a first launch of a project, right? So seeing that kind of data, you're probably like, okay, I'm going to continue this. I think I can make this into something way better than what it currently is. The creator of the game was Lance Priebe, along with the co-founder, I believe, Lane Merrifield. I'm not sure if Lance created the project initially himself or like within the first development. Lane came in. I'm not sure of the timeline of that. I couldn't really find like a clear answer of like when Lane came in to help. They together were making like the future development of what was to come. After a successful launch of Experimental Penguins, within the same year, they released the newer version called Penguin Chat. It's technically Penguin Chat 2 because it's like the second iteration, like right after Experimental Penguins. But you can just call it Penguin Chat because it doesn't really make a difference. It was very much an improvement. They added animations and it definitely went through another period of testing. So there was a lot of like small like additions to the game, like adjusting new graphics and just making the player experience a lot better. So it was very much a improvement. It was the middle child between the first project and the project that we know of. The second iteration Penguin Chat was they ended up closing the game for development, and it took them about 2 years to kind of figure all like the kinks out and make what is now known as Club Penguin. So the final big launch of this game came out in 2005. So it went through development in 2003, paused, came back in 2005, and now we have Penguin Chat 3, which was renamed to Club Penguin when Disney came in. Disney came in about 2007. That's when they decided to name it Club Penguin because I guess maybe it was like connection to Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. Maybe it felt more family friendly to call it a club rather than a Penguin Chat. Maybe they didn't want to be connected to you, Badu. You probably hated the way I said that. I'm so sorry. After 2008, a year after Disney came in, they had like figurines, plushies. Like Disney was like, we're gonna make you go everywhere. We're gonna put you everywhere. We're gonna expand you. We're expanding you. We're expanding the game. They even had mobile games. So they're doing about everything that you could possibly imagine after Disney came in. So that's kind of a brief rundown of the history. So playing Club Penguin, the best part obviously was the penguin itself. When you sign up, you got to choose one of your favorite colors to be your penguin or whatever your vibe was at the moment. And then from there, you could also choose clothing and hair, but you had to pay for those. So that was a bit different and you had to have a Club Penguin membership, which was very expensive, very, very expensive. Well, for me, as a child, I remember that being too expensive for me to even purchase. You could dress it up, you could dance, you could throw snowballs, which is the best part of the game, was throwing the snowballs. You could throw it at other people. You could throw it at the backdrop because the scenery was a 2D image. So you could just throw it at the sky and it would land in the clouds. It was kind of fun. It was pretty silly. And I love that about it. You also had a pet that you could choose. They're called Puffles. Yes, they look insane. Yes, I don't know what that is. Yes, it's probably an alien. I can't tell if it's an alien or a sea urchin because it's not prickly things. It's fur. That's fur. So I still don't know what that is. You look it up on Wikipedia and it says it's like some kind of fur. So that makes me question a lot of things. Where did they come from? What planet did they come from? Is there a book on this? And did someone find out? I don't know what they are, but they're oddly cute. They were oddly cute but creepy. They were cute but creepy. And you could have a lot of them. And when you had a membership, you could get quite a lot of them. You could fill your igloo with that. And speaking of the igloo, that was your personal room that you could decorate. You could fill with various furniture. You could get an army of puffles in there if you wanted. I don't know why you would want to, but that's an option that you could do for sure. Sad that you can't do that now. It's gone, but you probably did. If you did that, let me know in the comments below if you had an army of puffles, and let me know in the comments below, what are they? So yeah, you could choose furniture, flooring. You couldn't change the wallpaper because that wouldn't make sense because it's like ice. I don't know how wallpaper would hold up on an ice wall. So sorry, you couldn't do that, but you could change like the scenery background of your igloo, like behind it, like your backyard. I remember someone had a trampoline. I have a memory of like weird items. So yeah, speaking of furniture, a lot of that you could only get if you had a Club Penguin membership, which was pretty pricey. Same problem as Habbo Hotel, which was that it was too costly to be a member, and if you were probably the richest person on this planet. That was another thing. That's probably why it didn't make enough money in the long term, because it would cost too much for children. Not a lot of kids had a 9 to 5, so I don't think that was a great decision. That's why mobile apps are so popular now, because the microtransactions are like $3. Sure, you could do it 100 times. How much is a V-buck? The sound is so boomer coming out of my mouth. I'm so sorry, but you know what I mean? Like, it was expensive. Microtransactions now are so sinister and subtle. They look so small. So it's much easier for a child brain to be like, oh, I can put this 1,000 times on my mom's credit card. But like getting a Club Penguin membership for $30 is probably not something a kid's going to be like, I can get away with, right? That's what happened, I think. We'll get to that later though. And there was a bunch of mini games. Oh my gosh. The mini games in Club Penguin were amazing. That was probably the best part of the game. There was a minecart one. I think that was like a later edition. I don't remember. There was one you were in like a mine shaft. You're kind of dodging stuff. That was cool. There's obviously the famous, everyone plays this one, the one where you're in a lifesaver and you're dodging rocks. There's also the tobogganing one, or sledding. Sorry, the sledding mini game. That was pretty fun. There were so many good mini games in that. That was the best part. That was like so much fun. They knew how to make a good mini game in Club Penguin. Like that was their juice. That was the cream of the crop. So the parties I wasn't very familiar with. I think I was stupid. I mean, I still am, but looking into this, I was like, oh, I guess they had like parties and events in the game that I was never aware of. Like, I noticed playing the game that there was like themes going on. I didn't realize it was like a whole thing. Like, apparently every month they had like a theme going on that occurred on the island pertaining to a holiday or just like something that they just came up with. I never clocked it. I just thought, oh, they're just putting up decorations for some reason. It's like all this Christmas theme. Huh. I wonder what that's for. I don't know. That's just me personally, but that was the thing that was occurring. I just wanted to include that, so no one was like, hey, you forgot to mention that they did like a whole event and stuff. Like, I was a child. I was a dumb child. I just ignored a lot of things. Like, I still don't know when the holidays happen. So, the big part of Club Penguin was the chat system. It was pretty robust. Why did I say that? It was pretty standard. So chatting was heavily moderated and filtered, not to the degree of Pop Tropica, which I honestly think maybe that would have been a better option to do the same kind of chat system as Pop Tropica, because it was filled with 9-year-olds. Probably is a better option to kind of just make it like the whole game was mini games. You didn't really need chat system. It could have been like Pop Tropica, where they had certain rooms within the game that had pre-selected conversations. A big part of the game was decorating your penguin, your igloo, playing the mini games, getting a puffle, dancing, throwing snowballs. There was a lot of the game to offer, but that's just my opinion, because it was kind of a hellscape in that chat. Like, a big part of it was a lot of like verbal abuse. Like, even if like it was heavily filtered, there were still ways to like be an asshole. They had a few options, you know. They had the regular chat system that, you know, you could type blah, 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 blah. Hi, my name is Bingus42. But they also had the safe mode, which was they had pre-selected chats that you could choose from instead of having to type out your own message because you were probably under the guidance of your parent, and your parent was probably like, I don't want you saying some crazy stuff to strangers. I don't want you giving out your home address. So you are only getting safe mode, which is smart, especially during this period of time where it felt like the Wild West online. So it was a mix of people. So yeah, it had, you know, those options with the chat system, and there was also servers dedicated to only safe mode chatters. It was probably a more peaceful experience if you ever played on that. I mean, it was definitely good at what it did. It moderated, it filtered, but it worked. But obviously, you know, there were speed runs of who could get banned the fastest. So, you know, it was kind of like, it was still kind of wacky in there. But that was the beauty of it, I think. That was the beauty of that mixing. So why did it shut down? Well, so over the years, it had a decline in users, a decline of people going on Club Penguin. People were getting older, didn't really want to stick around, and then people either got bored over time. The safe mode to some kids was a bit annoying. Like their parents set them up for that. They hated it, so they decided not to play the game and went to like another game. Like, I don't know, they probably went on MapleStory and spent $60,000 on cosmetics. I don't know. There's a lot of other games that didn't have those kind of restrictions, so it's just a natural thing. People move on. So another big problem that Club Penguin had, similar to Habbo Hotel, was exclusivity. And by that, I mean there was a lot of things that were too expensive for a child to pay for, or even to ask their mom for, you know. The membership was expensive, and then like having to get, you know, items for yourself, for your igloo, because you want to accessorize, you want to personalize your experience playing a game. It felt a lot more out of reach for people. And over the years, it didn't get better. Inflation still occurs, and people get poorer every year, not richer. There is an inclusion problem, especially for young kids who already experience probably bullying in real life, at school, for not having, you know, the same clothes as everyone else because they can't afford it. Now they have to experience the same thing again online. So that's probably a big problem for children, because they want to be part of the club. They want to be part of the group, the in-group. They want to feel included. And when you create this system that kind of excludes them, why would they want to be part of it? So they choose not to, so they play something else. I definitely felt that because I didn't grow up rich. A lot of people didn't. There was only like a small group of people that could. And when you got your first job, when you're like, I don't know, 15 or 16, whatever applies to you, you probably don't want to spend your first paycheck on Club Penguin. Imagine being called a noob when you're 9 years old. I'd be devastated for years. I saw this on Wikipedia, and I don't know if it's like 100% legit because, you know, it's Wikipedia. You have to take everything with a grain of salt, right? They said on the Wikipedia, they discontinued Club Penguin to focus their energy, Disney, on their new Club Penguin Island game, which also shut down anyways. Disney was like, we're just gonna take the budget here and we're gonna put it into this other completely new project, the Club Penguin game, that didn't work out well at all, and it kind of just died. That was it. They made a bad business decision, and that was the end of it. But there's like, you know, obviously there's a few other reasons why this thing didn't work out, but it's sad that it did. You know, it's sad that it shut down because, you know, a lot of people love this game. You know, I cherish it too. Like, I had fond memories of this game. It was awesome. So, Club Penguin's restart. A little happiness, I guess. I'm just gonna kind of quickly describe this because there's a few around. If you want to play them, they exist. You just have to find it, and I will not be the one to show you it because I don't want to get in trouble. Okay, but let's talk about the famous one that sadly shut down. It was called Club Penguin Rewritten. It's sad to see you go. It was really good. Since Club Penguin shut down, a lot of people were devastated by that. They were like, why did you just remove the one bit of happiness I have in my life? And they decided to make it their own. They decided to grab the code and just make it. Club Penguin Rewritten was probably the most popular one. You've probably heard of it. It's maybe some other version of it is out there. It was pretty successful in getting a big user base back. It had like 8 million people registered. That could be like, you know, take that with a grain of salt because that just means account, right? So that could just be like one person has like 6 accounts, right? Getting banned. You never know. Take every piece of data I give you with maybe. Because that's a big number. When I looked that up, I was like, 8 million? What? But yeah, okay. Anyways, I liked it. It was pretty cool. It was much more accessible. You know, it was much easier to, you know, just like dress up your Club Penguin character, your penguin guy, your little dude. It was much easier to do that, to personalize your experience. And like, I didn't see as much chaos, but I wasn't on it very much. I only played it probably for like an hour at most. But yeah, it was just really cool to experience it again. And it was up for a while, but it got smacked with a lot of DMCAs. So that did not last very long. So they had to shut that thing down. Disney does not play around. It's very much like Nintendo. Actually, Nintendo's worse. That's a whole other discussion I don't think I'll ever get into. But there's a lot more out there. You could probably just do a quick Google search on that and you'll probably find what you're looking for. But yeah, that was probably the most successful one. It was really cool seeing that again. Cool to experience it. And it's sad to see it go again for the second time. So yeah, my end thoughts here are Club Penguin was awesome. I loved it. I loved the experience I had with it. It was definitely one of the best chat room games out there. Because I don't know, it was much more chaotic. It was less evil, but it was still demonic. Does that make sense? It was honestly great, and the mini games were so good. Sad to see those go because I would love to just play those right now, like when I'm bored. Like, they were great. I love mini games. You know, like, just go on Newgrounds. People are still making like mini games on Newgrounds. Like, Newgrounds is still around. Don't forget about that. So go on there if you ever want to play like something silly. Port indie artists. But yeah, that's my opinion on this. This is all my opinion. So if I said anything wrong, please correct me in the comments below. I would love to hear your thoughts, your opinions, and leave a like. And join the Discord. We have fun. And thank you so much for getting me to 200 subscribers. That's so cool. You know, I didn't think I'd get there. And I didn't know I would have this many people. I mean, that's a lot. That's 200 people. That's a lot of people to me. You know, I'm not like a 5 million subscriber channel, but you know, I just started. We'll get there one day, folks. And Disney, this is all my personal opinion. Please do not kill me. Thank you. Okay, that's it. Bye.